MVP Disc Sports has rapidly become one of the most popular disc golf brands in today's game. After signing James Conrad and Simon Lizotte, we've seen a massive influx of players throwing MVP, but I think in the earlier days of MVP, they had some really awesome molds that flew under the radar because they weren't as popular as they are now today. Now, what I have here for you guys today is MVP's first distance driver of the MVP Inertia, and this thing is absolutely awesome, and I felt like it deserved its own video. This was MVP's first distance driver, first 20 millimeter rim width disc that they ever came out with. And this is a disc that I really don't see anybody throw. The profile is fairly flat. It's got that perfect, easy to grip rim width where you're still going to get distance, but it still feels good in the hand. Comes in at a 9.5 -2.2 and has a nice little turn in the beginning of the flight and then a really strong fade at the end. And I felt like this disc deserved its own spotlight because I don't see people throwing the Inertia. But I think if you want a disc to fly like the Tesla flies for Simon, I think the Inertia is that answer for most players. So we'll give it a few throws here as well. So you can see, getting that nice turn, but with it really swings at the end. And I think when discs boast turn and fade, I can be very skeptical, but that Inertia has the perfect amount of turn and fade for good distance and good shot shaping. Now, the Inertia is probably too understable for players like James Conrad and Simon Lizotte because they just throw so much farther than most people. But for players with slower arms, amateur players, non-touring pros, the Inertia is so great for those hyzer flip lines where you need a fade at the end, those flex shots. It really has a very strong, like, swinging fade at the end. And it basically flies, to me, like a Thunderbird with a little bit more mid-flight turn. And that's just so useful for shaping so many different lines. And I went out yesterday and played a full MVP discs only round. And I had several different driver and fairway driver options, but I found myself just reaching for the Inertia again and again because it's easy to get it to hyzer flip, easy to get it to turn, but it's also easy to get it to just stay stable. It's kind of that do it all, you can reach for it in a lot of different situations kind of disc. Let's see how it goes on the hyzer flip line, just so you guys can see that hyzer flip to fade. It's that little baby hyzer flip and then a really strong fade at the end. But you saw on the last throw, I was able to get it to just have a nice big turn and then a strong fade at the end. And that just shows how versatile of a distance driver that it actually is. And a lot of people are trying to throw the Tesla. I've seen a lot of people with the Tesla in their bag, and it is a good disc, but it is just very, very stable unless you have pro level arm speed. So the Inertia, because it came out so early in MVP's lineup, a lot of people just simply aren't throwing it. And I don't think I've ever seen someone throw an Inertia on any group I've ever played in ever, but I've seen tons of Craves, tons of Volts, you know, tons of all the stuff Simon and Conrad are throwing, but I've never seen someone pull out an Inertia, and I didn't even know it existed until I got one myself. Yeah, I just want to make this video, put you guys on to what I think is probably a better option for most people versus the Tesla. If you don't have that elite arm speed to get it fly how it flies for Simon, this is going to be such a fun option for all of you that fall in that category. So we'll give it one last throw and we'll wrap things up. Try and get to hold a little bit more turn here. So you can really kind of force it over and get a really long panning turn. But right when it slows down, it still always fades at the end. So yeah, go get an Inertia for yourself. You can give one a try. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I've never seen people throwing the Inertia, so I thought it was a really good disc. So you guys know, I don't really care what's popular all the time. I just kind of like to put you guys on to what I think is good. And I think the Inertia is really good. You guys are watching Iceberg TV, and take care.